The funeral was almost over when a German shepherd suddenly began barking at the coffin. No one understood why. At first, everyone thought it was grief. But soon the barking became persistent, desperate, and what happened next shocked everyone. This dog kept a secret that no one even suspected, and this secret changed everything. The chapel was filled with silence. Only the quiet shuffling of feet, the faint sound of a priest's voice, and the occasional stifled sob echoed through the hall. Mourners dressed in black sat still, eyes lowered, hearts heavy. At the center stood the coffin, polished wood, draped with the American flag. In front of it, not moving, not whining, but alert, sat Rex. The German shepherd wore a black K9 vest, his eyes focused, his body rigid. He wasn't just any dog. He had been Officer Daniel Granger's partner in the field through arrests, gunfire, and long, cold nights. Where Daniel went, Rex followed. And now, in death, Rex was still by his side. But something was wrong. A soft groan escaped the dog's throat. Then, a low bark, quiet but firm. A few heads turned. Amanda, Daniel's widow, looked at Rex with concern but said nothing. She thought it was morning. Who wouldn't? Rex had lost more than a handler, he had lost family. But then the bark came again. Louder. Sharper. He stood tense, staring directly at the coffin. His tail was stiff, his body frozen like a coiled spring. Another bark. Then claws on wood. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Someone whispered, "What's he doing?" The priest paused mid-sentence. Amanda's face turned pale. The dog began scraping at the base of the coffin, his paws digging at the polished surface. His bark turned to a growl, low and menacing. Officer Bryant, Daniel's closest friend and Rex's former handler, stood up. He walked slowly toward the dog and knelt. "Easy, buddy," he whispered, reaching out a steady hand. Rex didn't respond. His ears stayed forward, his eyes locked on the lid of the coffin. Suddenly, he circled it, sniffing along the edges, pressing his nose into every crevice, whining, snorting, then returning to the same exact spot. Bryant's expression changed. He pressed an ear to the wood. Silence. Then a sound. His eyes flew open. "I heard something." Amanda's voice cracked. "What?" "There's movement," Bryant said. The funeral director hesitated as Bryant turned to him. "Open it. Now." "I'm not sure." "Do it," he ordered. "Now." With trembling hands, the director stepped forward and slowly lifted the lid. The creak of the hinges echoed like thunder in the stunned room. For a moment, there was nothing. Then a rustle. A tiny body, barely visible, shifted in the folds of Daniel's uniform. It was a puppy. Wet, trembling, so small it barely looked real. A collective gasp filled the chapel. Rex let out a low, relieved whimper. He moved closer but didn't touch. He just sat there, as if watching over the fragile life that had somehow survived. Bryant gently reached in and lifted the puppy, cradling it in his hands. It was alive barely. Weak, cold, but breathing. And then something else fell from the uniform. A piece of paper, folded in quarters. Bryant picked it up and unfolded it with shaking fingers. It was a note. In Daniel's handwriting. "If anything happens to me, take care of them. Of them." The room stood still. Bryant read on aloud. "If you're reading this, it means I didn't come back. But if Rex is near, and she's alive, then it was all worth it. She was born the night I vanished. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't want panic. I just prayed Rex would know what to do. I told him one thing, guard her. And he understood. He always did." Amanda approached, her legs trembling. She knelt beside the puppy and gently laid a hand on its tiny back. She's ours," she whispered. That evening, Leah, Daniel's daughter, lay wrapped in a soft blanket in the Precinct K9 office. A nurse who had attended the funeral confirmed she'd survive. "She's lucky," she said through tears. "More than lucky. It's a miracle." And beside the box, silent and unmoving, sat Rex. Not guarding, watching, loving. He didn't leave her side. Not that night. Not the next. Not ever. Amanda named the puppy Leah. And Rex took on a new role, not partner, not protector, but something deeper. When Leah cried, he nudged her. When she slept, he curled beside her. When she stumbled, he stood between her and the world. One day Amanda said he doesn't guard her. He loves her like she's his. Spring came. Amanda would sit on the porch with a cup of tea, watching as Leah, now toddling, played in the yard. Rex lay close, ears twitching, eyes always on her. When she laughed, he perked up. When she fell, he stood. When she slept, he stayed alert, his breathing steady. At night, Amanda would take out the note and whisper, "She'll know, Daniel. She'll know who her father was. And who you left to protect her." A year passed. In the precinct hallway, a new photograph appeared. It showed a laughing little girl in a field of wildflowers, her arms around the thick neck of a proud, aging German shepherd. Beneath it, a plaque read, "Officer Rex, loyalty that knows no death." And below that, in handwriting, "Sometimes a bark isn't just a sound, it's a promise.